Hello my fellow stickies, and on today's episode of Let's Play Defiance, part El Numero Dos, or part number 2. My Spanish is bad, my bad. Anyway, so what I'm doing right now is I'm participating in a minor arc ball leading up to a major arc ball. And, while playing in Defiance, the MMO. And I actually, you'll see later in the video, I'm second place in the major arc ball. So 596 people participated, which you can find on the, if you click the start menu while playing Defiance, you can figure out how many people are participating in the arc ball area. And so, out of 590 people that are participating, I got second place. It was pretty cool. I joined in the arc ball. I was in the area when it started. So, you know, I see these giant meteors fall from the sky, and, so went ahead and chased them down and destroyed a lot of hellbugs. So, got a viewer question earlier today. It's Sunday in the morning, Central Time. It's about 10 o'clock. I'm gonna have to render this video, which takes a long time to do. And so you might be experiencing some audio problems, and if you are, I'm sorry about that. The Roxio video wave isn't working very well. I don't know whether it's Roxio as a whole, or perhaps it's just the software using a different kind of mic to record than the Roxio mic. I don't know, but I'm actually going to be getting a new mic pretty soon. Not a headset mic, a new, like, kind of like a better version of a Snowball, for all you amateur YouTubers out there. And the viewer question was, what was I using to record with, and what was I using to record my audio with? He said he was experiencing some audio from the game problems, not from me. And I'm using Roxio Video Wave, and the audio I'm recording on, I'm actually using my Turtle Beach headset, my X32, and I'm playing on Xbox 360, so it's Xbox only headset. And I just completed the minor arc ball, as you can see right here. And I'm about to get in my car and go to the major arc ball. So, presenting on a topic that, if you watched any of my earlier videos, my sticky topics selection, the PS4 versus the Xbox 720, just to bring that up, PlayStation posted something, or sorry, Sony posted something 2 weeks ago that said the PS4 will have a special piece of hardware in it that makes it completely different from any other software and hardware. And what it meant was it's going to have its own Sony capture card, which I guess is going to tie into Sony Vegas. But if it does have its own capture card and Xbox 720 does not, while I have a great capture card, I'm probably going to become a PS4 user. Just because of the fact that PS4 is basically like a high-end computer. Like, the hardware inside of it matches up with great computers that are, you know, considered, you know, great gaming computers. They're now just a console. And I'm participating in the second round of the minor arc ball. If you watched the very beginning of this video, which you probably did if you're still listening to me, the minor arc ball, I was the first person there, which I didn't show in the video because I died a couple times. Because if you're trying to do an arc ball alone, you're either stupid or you're trying to get a lot of XP. Because if you've ever played Guild Wars 2, you'll know of the sidekick system, which will sidekick players and events to the size of the player or event, which that means if there is one player by the event will be hard for one player. If there's 5 people, it'll be hard for 5 people, and so on, you know, infinite numbers until the server crashes. But anyway, the events that go on in the arc ball will range to the amount of players that are participating in it. And so at the very beginning, you know, when I was all alone, it was pretty hard. But I mean, I could have done it eventually. The more people there are, the easier it seems. but actually the event scales. So sometimes if you look up at the health of the crystal that I'm attacking, you'll see that it gains some health sometimes, and that's not because it heals. It's because, you know, 7 or 6 players will ride in here on their cars, and then the event has to scale to however many players there are. Oh, and if you saw earlier in the video, I actually got a dune buggy. Yeah, I got out of that old 4-wheeler. Finally got me a fine set of wheels. That's the second best car in the Defiance MMO. The first is the Camaro, which you might see sometimes. Actually, it's my blue car right there, parked right next to the crystal. But the Camaro actually has a mounted machine gun which you can fire bullets off of. That's why you'll see some people using like a vehicle guerrilla warfare, which is where, you know, they see the crystal, they just ram into it with their car. Because your vehicle actually can deal damage when hitting things, shooting things, and it is actually a viable option to do lots of damage in Defiance. And you loot things that you run over, and you hit things that are even above you. But the Camaro is definitely the vehicle to do that, or the van. And the van is you can only get that for certain quests. And so those people are probably in between a quest, see an arc fall, bring the van in here. It has a lot of health and does a lot of damage, but it you know, it's very slow, so most of the hellbugs can dodge out of the way. The crystal is, you know, stays still, so it's a great way to actually kill things in Defiance gameplay. And so now we just completed the minor arc fall number 2, and so now I'm trying to find the bigger arc fall on my map right there. There is a mini map in the top right corner if you look at the screen. The mini map allows you to direct, you know, your way through the world, but the major map, or the full-size map, is way more helpful. Like, you can set a waypoint, which you know, most nowadays games you can do, and that's super helpful for going to arc falls in the next event. And so here's the major arc fall event, where the Hellbrew Maw basically pops up, and it has a symbiote in the center of it that is basically like the brain. You know, it's a hard shell on the outside and a soft gooey little guy on the inside. So what you have to, the tactic is he stays still, right? So he shoots these blasts out of the 4 mouths that are placed around the top of his body, and so you have to shoot in the mouth holes. Some people say you can just shoot the heads and it does damage, but that's false. The Defiance gamer boards have reviewed the fact that, you know, people say that, and then they've came back and said that that is very false, that you have to shoot them in the mouth, because that's the only way for the bullets to travel inside and aggravate the Hellion to come out, which is the symbiote. And the symbiote is the hardest type of hellbug to fight. It is gigantic. It can knock you back, which later in the video he actually comes out and, oh, there you go, he's actually right there. He'll just knock you on your back and, you know, stab you a couple times. He actually eats you sometimes, and you stay in his stomach until a teammate shoots his stomach and he comes out. So when the Hellion goes back inside, the Monarch comes outside, and it is basically the second hardest guy. It does not fly, but it has an armor ratio of 1.5, which is, most ratio of armor is, you know, 1.25 for the heavies and 1.0 for the elites, then 0.75 for the regular people, then 0.50 for the symbiote. But its armor rating is 1.50, which means that you have to have armor penetrating guns, which is assault rifles, shotguns, and snipers, to be able to actually do quite a bit of damage to. And while it's easier to kill than the symbiote is, most of the time when it hits you, just knocks you back, doesn't do that much damage. So the tactic for killing the symbiote is to basically strafe along the edges, stay away from it. You don't want to be right under it. For all you shotgun crazy people who like to go out and just shoot everything you can with your shotgun. The best strategy is to get a sniper, rocket launcher, assault rifle as your secondary gun, and just shoot it from afar, because once it gets up close, it will kill you and can kill you, no matter if you have a full perk tree or not. But as of now, the major arcfall event's going pretty good. We're probably not going to fail it, which failing it is where the bar, this timer on the top of the screen says the time for before it explodes, and it will explode actually. It explodes and you fail the event, nobody gets any loot, and that kind of affects the TV show, and the fact that they might say, oh, there was an explosion in, you know, West Bend. Did you hear about it? The symbiote got out and then killed 30 of our soldiers. So they'll say those little little tidbits in the show, and you'll be like, hey, wait a second, I actually participated in that. As of right now, Defiance's amount of people that are playing it hasn't grown that too terribly much, but it's steadily growing, and today's Sunday. It's about 11 o'clock now, and it's the new show's coming on tomorrow, or not the new show, the third episode in the show. You can catch the other episodes on Defiance on Sci-Fi from 7 to 8 Central Time. And you guys should definitely check it out. Here's where we kill the Hellion, or not, yeah, we kill the Hellion, and then the big bad boss guy comes out. I back up a little bit so you guys can see how many people there are. These are all active players. Yeah, I got a achievement for doing 10 major arc falls. And then I back out of the Xbox Live menu, and then if you look on the screen, I was actually second place in the whole group of all of that. And I was Ashbel right there on the list. And so this is pretty much it for the Defiance Let's Play Episode 1. I just check out my shields to see if I got a better shield. Like for a cookie, subscribe for a cake. Peace out, stickies.